Yo, what's up? Raw and Uncut back again with another episode. And tonight, I'm gonna tell one of my little one of my ghetto bandit stories, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I call them ghetto bandit stories because for some reason, ever since me and my brothers were little, we just didn't know right from wrong. We were abused for most of our childhood, right? Physically, like being beat up by my dad and shit like that. Being beaten by my dad. And I don't mean like getting, bent over your knee and spanked. Once in a while we got those. I mean, all out lashes from a motherfucking thick ass leather belt. Getting held up like, they tie your hands up by a rope and pick you up off the ground, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? My dad would do that with his hands and just whip the shit out of me. Anyways, so when you kind of dealing with abuse like that as a kid, you're a little bit wild and you just don't give a shit about nothing. You don't care about shit. You just do whatever you want. Me and my brothers, we're always getting into shit, man, and always doing stupid shit as kids, just learning. And I remember this 1990, it was probably around like springtime or something, if I remember correctly, and we lived on 2531 East Tyler in Fresno, California. And there's a school down the street from there, and it's called WEBSTER Elementary, still there to this very day. A good friend of mine, Oscar Rodriguez, who was there with us at this time, just built a park right next to there. And the funny thing about that is when we were kids, he said he always wanted to do that. He made that happen. On a side note, I just think it's dope as fuck. And it's, all in the name of God, right? Now, let's get into this story. It's 1990. I'm 13 years old, or going on 13. And this is like one of the first times that my cousin Alfred Ferd is going to get to spend the night, at our house. And we just barely recently been around my mom's family for like the last 2 years or so. Because previously, the 10 years previous to that, we hadn't been very much, if at all, the last few years. So we started hanging out again, and me and my cousin Ferd, we're the oldest of our families in terms of the boys, right? And we're the same age, so we always had, where me and him always clicked, just like my brother and my brother Rue and Frank, and my brother T and Paul, and then the rest of us, how we all clicked with each other, right? Well, it was crazy because it's like the first time he got to spend the night at our house, right? And it was like, the fucking thing was with us that because my cousin never came over and he did, we were already doing stupid shit. We were already kind of running up and down the freeways at night and shit. I remember that. With Jose Saldana, we used to call him Radio, right? 6'5", 6'6", 260 pounds, dressed like a ninja in the middle of the fucking night and shit, shit like that. We were always into some stuff out there. So we used to go every day after school or the weekends or whatever. We didn't have much money, or, we didn't have much to do. So on the weekends we were bored. So we'd always go to WEBSTER. If it was baseball season, we'll play baseball. If it's football season, we'll play football. If it's basketball, we'll play basketball. And that's kind of how it was, right? We played all the sports. We stayed busy. So we always knew everyone around there, right? Like all the other kids. Well, this time, my cousin Ferd comes over, and I believe, it's his first time spending the night. And so, we decide we're going to go to WEBSTER, and we're going to go, shoot some hoop. It's like on a Saturday, I believe. It was a Saturday, right? Saturday evening. So we go out there, and we're shooting hoop with everybody there. There's a few people there, like always was. There'd be some kids from a few different neighborhoods or other kids that lived in the neighborhood playing ball right there or whatever. And you start playing. We were playing like a couple of pickup games or whatever, like we always did. And as it started, to get dark, for some reason, man, when it got dark, my brothers would come up with some stupid shit to do. Hey, let's go break into that store. Hey, let's go break. There's a shed. I seen it. We're kids, man. We're fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying? We're just in the ghetto. Just don't give a fuck about nothing already. Living very, very fucking wild. And my mom doesn't know where we're at. We're gone. She thinks we're at the school playing. It's barely starting to get dark. Usually we go home right then and there. So right as, you know, it's starting to get a little bit dark, I hear somebody talking about it. I think it was my brother T talking about, hey man, I want some ice cream. Or somebody said, I want some ice cream, you know what I mean? Or something like that. And like, ain't got no ice cream at home, you know what I'm saying? Somebody told him, like, ain't got no ice cream at home, bro. And fucking he's like, well, there's fucking ice cream in the cafeteria over there. Somebody said something about, well, there's ice cream in the cafeteria. We're on school grounds. It's during the weekend. It's a Saturday. The only one there is the custodian. It'd be the old, I forgot his name. The old tall white man with the baseball cap. He's bald and he had the little mustache. He was the custodian. He was always there by himself, right? All the time. On the weekends he was there. It's weird. It's like he lived there. Because he was always there. I guess he would watch the school, right? And I just remember, you know, like, you know, somebody like, hey, yeah, well, there's some ice cream in the cafeteria over there, and it's getting dark, and we're kind of waiting. You know, at first I tried to talk them out of it, but they didn't want to listen. So when I seen they didn't want to listen, we kind of waited for it to get a little bit more dark, you know, like another 15 minutes after it got dark for all the rest of the kids and shit to leave, because they had to leave because it was getting dark. But we lived literally like not even half a block away. So it got dark. I forget where my brother T got a screwdriver from, but we moseyed our way down over there to the WEBSTER cafeteria. The east side of the cafeteria, there's a west side of the cafeteria where everybody parks at, and there's the east side, right? And right there, the doors, when you're coming out of the classrooms and stuff, the doors on the east side, the two big doors, right? The two big metal doors, when it broke off the latch with the screwdriver, popped that motherfucker open, got up, all of us got up, took turns in that refrigerator, taking big old, like those big old, you know, little barrels that they got like at the Thrifties or the Rite Aid now, right? Those big old, like one of like vanilla, one of like chocolate, and then a bunch of boxes of popsicles and all kinds of fruit punches and stuff like that, right? That they used to sell. We raided that motherfucker, man. The whole refrigerator there at fucking WEBSTER Elementary, dude. And between me, my cousin Ferd, my brother Tortoise, and my brother Ruben, and I think Smiley might have been with us too. I think Smiley was with us. Man, we ran all that shit along the side of the freeway toward Fresno Street. But not really all the way that way, but just got everything bolted out toward where it was dark, because if you go more east, then you're going to go to the baseball field and the football field, and there's no lights out there. It wasn't really well lit back in those days like the way schools are well lit now. There was dark spots there. So we figured out the route. We're like, okay, we can get in through these, you know, through these big doors right here, come out, go through the back, go straight toward the freeway, go east and run into the freeway in the back of the baseball and the football field back there. In that little corner. If you've ever been to WEBSTER Elementary, then you know what I'm talking about. Right there. The freeway's right there. There's a fence that separates the actual like embankment from the freeway versus the field from WEBSTER. Right? Well, we had a hole back there in that fence. And we knew we had cut that hole back there in that fence, and not many people knew about it. It was way back there in the corner. Nobody ever went over there. It was like the part of the field where the trees and stuff where nobody went over there, right? So we cut that open. So when we started raiding that refrigerator, we got whatever we could get on one try. We didn't go back and get more, just one try. A couple of us got tubs, a couple of us, other ones got boxes and boxes of popsicles and a couple bags of some fruit punch and shit like that. And we went straight to that part of the field, got inside the fence there to the bottom of the embankment of Freeway 180, and we start going toward Fresno Street on the inside of that fence at night. You can't see us. It's dark. It's all behind the classrooms and everything. So we're making a U with the stuff. We're taking it from the cafeteria, going east with it to the freeway embankment in the dark, and then coming right back alongside once you start getting closer, when you start going toward Fresno and you come on the first street right there, which is the first street, it's a dead end if you go into it. It's the one that is right there. Webster's right next to it, runs right with it. Augusta. You come up to Augusta, there's a dead end, and there's a brick wall for the freeway right there, for the bottom of the embankment. We went there, we jumped the fence there, and just ran straight up. Straight up. And it was dark. There's no street lights there like that. It's not lit up. You know, back then it wasn't lit up like it's lit up now. So we just took that trail and went straight up because we live right there, a block down, right? I mean, we lived right across the street from Webster, really. Not literally, but right there. We lived 3 houses down from the corner of Webster, where Webster starts, Augusta and Tyler Street, right? We live right there on Tyler. So we run everything, we get everything back into the house, and we just load up the damn refrigerator. It's all loaded up. It's probably about 9 or 10 o'clock at night now or something like that, 8 or 9. My mom and everyone's kind of asleep in the house, like my sisters. I think one of my sisters was awake, but my mom was asleep, right? And we just loaded up the fucking refrigerator. We're eating ice cream for, I don't know, a couple hours, whatever. You know, the old school orange cream, you know, the just all them old classic type of popsicles and shit. And the bolillos and stuff like that. And the little fruit punches and shit like that. And then the 2 big ass tubs of ice cream, right? And so we're grubbing on this shit. You know what I mean? Me, Ferd, Ruben, T, Smiley, we're just grubbing on it right there, fucking eating ice cream all night. We fall asleep. We're asleep. My mom, all I know is I wake up to my mom saying, "Where the fuck did all this fucking ice cream come from? Where the fuck did you guys get it?" My mom was fucking pissed. She was pissed, to say the least, bro. And I just remember my cousin Ferd looking like, damn, you know, Thea Carmen's tripping. He didn't know what to say. He didn't say nothing. And I think my brother T, tortoise, like he always did, he'd think of something, he'd say something stupid. He's like, somebody gave it to us. That was always the theme. Like when we did the old fucking taco truck heist, I swear to God, honest to God, my cousin Ferd, my brothers and Frank, they'll tell you the truth. When my mom seen that shit, that was the first thing she said, "Where the fuck did all this shit come from?" And my brother Torres was like, someone gave it to us. So he did the same thing with the ice cream, but this was the original because the taco truck heist was probably about 3 years after that. 3-4 years after that. So we're youngsters here. I was 13, 12 going on 13. Me and Ferg were both 12. My brother Ruben's 10. Tortoise had to be 8. 9? 9 going on 10. Yeah, 9 going on 10. I was 12 going on 13. And Ruben was 11 going on Ruben was 10 going on 11. Or 11 going on 12. Something like that. We're one after another, right? And, but yeah, so my mom sees all the shit my brother Tortoise says. She's like, "Nah, you guys got this shit from somewhere on this and that." Well, the next day, because now it's Sunday, right? Well, Ferd goes home. The next day's Monday. My brother Shane, my brother Shane, my sister Gina. It was weird because there are 6 of us, right? But they only let my brother Shane and my sister Gina go to Webster. You know what I'm saying? And me, it was crazy, right? Now that I think about it, me, Ruben. No, they only let Ruben and Gina go to Webster, and me, Tortoise, and Jessica had to go to Baird. They were shipping us and the kids from the west side, us and the black kids from the west side, because there's blacks and Mexicans all on the bus. That's all it was. Let's keep it a buck. And we pulled up to Baird, and it was an all-white school up in North Fresno, right? But anyways, so my brother Shane goes to school, my sister Gina, my brother Ruben, we go to school. Or I think I ditched that day or something. I didn't go. I remember I was sitting there in the living room. I think I didn't want to go to school, right? And I remember staying there because I remember there was a knock at the door. And I'm just sitting there. I was kind of playing Nintendo. I think I was playing Super Mario Brothers, right? And there was a knock at the fucking door. And I'm like, oh shit, because it was like, 11. It's like not even noon yet, right? But it's kind of early in the morning, but not early, almost noon, I remember. because my mom was like cooking some papas. I think it was like papas and tomato sauce, and she had whipped up some tortillas or whatever for lunch so we could eat. And I think none of us went to school. I think Ruben was there and Tortoise too, if I remember correctly. My memory's fucked up, but now it's starting to come to me. But I just remember my mom opening the door and a voice saying, "Are you Shane Poland's mother, Carmen?" And my mom says, "Yes." And it was the fucking principal. It was the Mexican principal at the time, and I forgot his fucking name, Mr. What the hell was his name? But Oscar will remember him. But anyways, my mom goes, "Yeah, what's going on?" He goes, "Well, I just want to let you know that over the weekend, like our cafeteria, refrigerator, and kitchen area was vandalized and burglarized, and your son told us that because we kind of announced it at breakfast that if anybody knew anything about it or had any tips or anything to let us know, because we wanted to know who burglarized and who took the ice cream and all that, right?" And we did it under the nose of the custodian. We were waiting for we were watching the custodian, right before, I missed the part, but right before we started to make the move to go break the latch off, we had to wait for the custodian because he had a pattern. He'd work on the classes like over here, like all the ones over here on the like northwest corner of the little campus of WEBSTER, and he'd work his way toward the back over there where the auditorium and the cafeteria was, and then the little kindergarten classes in the back, and then the other 5th and 4th graders over there, right? Classes and bungalows. He had like a certain pattern, and we knew because every time we went there to play football or baseball, we'd watch him, and we knew which way he moved, so which classes he was going to do first and which ones he was going to do last. So when he went over there and he made that move to go over there behind the cafeteria to the kindergarten areas and go do those little 3 or 4 rooms over there, whatever they were, we knew he couldn't see us from that area, and we had to just get in and get out. So we waited for him to get over there. Once he got over there, bam, we ran up to the door, popped that motherfucker open. Every one of us got in there, got the ice cream, ran out through the corner over there of the freeway, got in the inside of the fence, came around, took everything there. So this motherfucker says, Shane, my brother Shane, told him that we had a refrigerator full of ice cream. Oh my God, dude. When I heard that shit, I was like, oh, what the fuck? And we still got a bunch of it in there. And my mom said, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I'm sorry. I woke up yesterday and they had a refrigerator full of ice cream. I asked them where they got it from. They said somebody gave it to them because they didn't want it. And that motherfucking principal started laughing. He started laughing his ass off. He's like, oh, fuck. Oh, he's like, oh, man, that's a lot of ice cream to be given away. You know what I mean? And she's like, yeah, I know. It's falling out of the refrigerator. And he's like, it's all right. Don't worry about it. You guys can keep it. But I'd like to talk to them because, I just don't want them getting in bigger trouble. We're not going to call the police or nothing. He didn't call the police. He didn't do nothing. He was hella cool about it, which I'm thankful for him. I wish I could remember his name, but it was, 36 years ago, damn near. You know what I'm saying? So my memories, especially from these last 2 car accidents. But anyways, I remember like, wow, I don't want to talk to this guy. I'm embarrassed, right? So my cousin Ferd didn't have to talk to nobody. He was at home. Nope, my mom never said anything to my tia Stella, I believe. Ferd got off scot-free. Him and Frank would get off scot-free when we would do our little stuff back in the days because they could just go home. We were stuck having to fucking live there and having to deal with it. But man, when he said he wanted to talk to us, and he's like, all right, you know what? Just call in. Let me know when you guys can come down. I'd like to meet all your sons and talk to them and then let them know why do they feel they have to do this. They don't have to do this. There's intervention. There's this, there's that. All right, whatever. My mom agrees to it. He says, okay, we'll talk to you later. I look forward to your call. And my mom closes the door and she turns around. She tells us, pinches animales, when the fuck did you guys fucking go steal that shit? Why do you guys gotta go fucking do stuff like that? You guys make me so fucking embarrassed. What's wrong with you guys? She was just going off on us, right? But we were just fucked up kids. We were just always into something. Like the instrumental to NWA's always into something.
Always making sure that my shit is steady pumping. A nigga always into something.
So that was us. We were just always doing shit. We were always into something. We just couldn't be bored. And we had video games at home, but we weren't, you know what I'm saying? We were into video games, but only like one. Like me and Ferg would be into LaRussa baseball, right? When Ferg would come over, we would just chill out. And we didn't smoke weed. We didn't do nothing. We didn't drink. We didn't do nothing, you know what I'm saying? My brothers, they'd be out with Frank trying to get into stuff, you know, always trying to get in some mischief, but Tortoise, Frank, and Ruben would always be coming up with some shit and get me and Ferg involved in it. So it was kind of like, it was just crazy, you know, because that was 1990. That was kind of like the first introduction to hanging out with my cousin in terms of not being over there at my tia's, but him coming over for a sleepover. And we went up in there and got all that damn ice cream, brought it back to the house. My mom woke up, fucking chewed us out, didn't know what to say because we didn't tell her where the fucking ice cream came from. Then the principal comes over because my brother Shane done ratted us the fuck out. You would think, you know, he was only 6 or 7, I think, right? Like 6, 7? Something like that. And you know what I'm saying? He said, well, when I seen him when he got out of school, like, fool, why the fuck did you tell him what, you know, why'd you tell him we had fucking ice cream? Well, they said if anybody knows where the ice cream went because somebody stole it from the cafeteria. So I told him, well, my brother's got a refrigerator full of ice cream at the house. Like, motherfucker. Shane was all whiny and shit, but he was a kid. He didn't know what he was doing, you know what I mean? He thought he was doing right, and he was doing right at the end of the day, but it was fucked up that he ratted his own brothers out. But yeah, that was, you know, that was the ghetto bandit ice cream fucking robbery, right? The ice cream heist. Or the Ice Cream Bandits, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Just some stupid shit we did as kids, you know what I'm saying? Growing up in the damn hood, not having nothing else to do. And I know Ferg was dying to come and hang out with us because he knew we were always into shit. Because we would tell him, hey, we broke into this, we broke into that, or we broke into this car. We were doing dumb shit. Thank God none of us ever got killed breaking into shit, man. Because we were just, you know what I'm saying? It's what we did. It's what we did. You know what I'm saying? But we learned, as I got older, I learned that if I was going to be out there and I was going to be ganking, we learned not to be ganking from the hood. You know what I'm saying? You don't take from where you live. You don't do that. We go out there to the good neighborhoods. We call it the rich neighborhoods, North Fresno, you know what I mean? Shit like that, where they were building the new pads out there back in the 90s off Northwest, you know what I'm saying? All those new houses out there. We go out there and we just start stealing. My friends would do it. Then I learned eventually. I started doing it on my own. You know what I'm saying? I got a few more stories about that. But this has been Raw and Uncut, Raw Reaction. This has been the Ghetto Bandit production, Ghetto Ice Cream Bandit in the building, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Just some fun as kids, man, doing dumb shit. That was the ice cream fucking heist right there. My brother ratted us the fuck out. Go figure, right? Yo, I'm going to get up out of here. This has been Raw and Uncut, Raw Reaction. I'm going to come back at you with another video real soon. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing. And like we always do about this time, we out.